Hello all. So here is a brand new series of videos which I thought to make a start on. Because for a long time I feel like there's a lot of songs which I only know about compared to other people I've met, and yeah, with all of these songs I've found, I thought, yeah, why not start making videos like this? And and with this being a series of videos which I've planned, and this one will be, the one with the intro, you could say. And I think you pretty much would know the premise. It's just um, showcasing a variety of songs which I think are massively underrated, and then I go from each song bit by bit and just talking bits and bobs about them. But as I talk about them, there won't be any audio, therefore no copyright material, no music videos either, which I think is also a bit unwise because not all of these songs I like have music videos. And so yeah. Um, and I thought, it's also worth mentioning that if you're not interested in the analysis and you just want to get onto the songs, then that's absolutely fine. That was the point of these videos, to recommend you these tracks. And also, as said here, all of the songs I've linked in the description below, and all of these songs you can also find in my public music playlist as well. They probably need updating because I found a couple of more songs, but even then, yeah, you can still come across them. And so yeah, we might as well make a start. So for this one, so yeah, here's the thing as well. So I thought to add a theme to each video as well. And for this one, I'm going to go for European tracks. And if you wonder what that means, it means songs done by European artists, like pop, almost a bit like a Eurovision song, but outside of, actually no, none of these, yeah, no Eurovision ones here, but at the same time, yeah, they don't have that massive spotlight that Eurovision provides to other songs as well. But yeah, here, another part of the video is that you can also try and listen to the song as I talk about it. It's not something I will do because I'm not the biggest fan of headphones, not gonna lie, and I think I might find that distracting. But you can do if you like, and I'm gonna explain the songs in the best way I can. I'm not a music analyst, like for instance, I wouldn't know what note or chord it would be if I hear it, and there's a lot of other music philosophy which I'm a bit behind on. But as I guess it's just listening to it as a bit more of a critical listener because I really like, listening on why a song clicks with me. Whether it's the note choices or the weight of the track, or just how it's structured, and like everyone's, people have songs which are more like tied to their memories, which is nice. It gives a song a bit more points, and I have that as well, but I'm not going to really treat that as a reviewing metric or part of the standard I have. Just going to explain the best I can why I think a song works better is. Anyway, that's part of the intro, kind of mixed in with what you're about to come across. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. Okay, so time for the first track. So I think, as far as I can remember, I think because one route I have, oh, actually, let's take a step back. So part of my daily routine is try listening to do songs, try and listen to as many as possible, and one way to do that is to go through record channels, music channels, or whatever, and that's where I came across ones like Rodeo Music, which this song has, and even the following songs are part of that channel as well, which I think is Romanian, but I could be wrong. But yeah, all still mostly still really nice. And yeah, this was one of the first songs I came across, and I remember thinking, oh, I really like this channel, I really like this style of music. And yeah, so let's get on to the song itself. So yeah, just really nice and upbeat. And what I also like about this song is that it mixes both electronic and acoustic elements. And speaking of which, this song does have an acoustic version, which is quite nice. It has a piano, an acoustic guitar, and even a cello, which is very interesting. And I really like the light percussion as well. But with the main pop version, it's I can't really think what it's similar to. I guess it kind of reminds me of a 2000s or an early 2010s song where it's I guess yeah, it's just structured normally with just a small instrumental intro, and then you have verse, chorus, verse, and then you also have a different vocal in the bridge, also known as the uh, third verse or the final verse before it goes on to the chorus again. And speaking of um, the the bridge of the song, Mr. Vitan, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce names. I at least can see, make a guess what his surname is. Yeah, I really like his import. Unfortunately, he's not in the acoustic version. That's where Alexandra comes in. But even then, Vitan's vocals, then it just adds a whole new layer to the song. It almost creates like the climax for it. But from what I can see, based on its own music video, I think it's almost like a coming back together kind of song. That's what I can see from the music video, because it has imagery of um, uh, Alexandra herself in a nice bright room, and there's a male actor in the dark room, and later on he comes into Alexandra's room and he's all dressed brightly as well. That's the impression I got, but I could be wrong and there could be more to it. Could be interesting to do a like a video analysis, but I like music. I don't know what the copyright will be like if I start looking into an artist's music video, because I think that might have some copyright tied to it. Anyway, so back to the song. So the guitar sounds like a steel, like a proper steel string guitar. Like for those who may or may not know, in the song "Sometimes" by Erasure, the 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 guitar there is like proper metallic, like with the way it like zings when it strums, and well, when you strum it rather. And but in this Alexandra track, it's more like individual notes, and I think I even seen a live performance where you can see the guitar, so it is an acoustic one, but like I said, just a more of a metallic one. I think it does have a special name, but I'm not quite sure, because most acoustic songs have like a circular shape to create the sound, but with the extra steel one, that's a new name, I suppose. It has cuts from different parts of it, and I think the body's more metallic as well, which is why those types of acoustic guitars, sorry, those acoustic guitars are a bit more, this sound more metallic. But like I said, there's individual notes every now and again which come about throughout the song, which I really like. They're more blatant during, let's see, like later on in a verse or the pre-chorus. Yeah, I think it's the pre-chorus. It looks like the verse and the pre-chorus are a similar size, because normally the verses are quite big in any other song, and then the pre-chorus is rather small. But in this case, I think it's equal either way. And yeah, some really nice electronic sounds as well. It could be a keyboard, but I think most electronic sounds come from mixing about sounds on the computer, which I like when it's done well, but I am definitely more of a instrument person, and because I'm a big fan of the mixture between drums, a couple of guitars, even a keyboard. or even a piano, thrown in, the kind of songs which the 60s, 70s, and 80s kind of do. But and of course, it's they're more present in well, not more present, but they are still a thing, in the decades afterwards. But after the 80s, that's where they have the more of a reliance on electronic sounds. Like I said, it's for me, it depends what the sounds are like. If they go for like really good notes, which they do for this song, then it's just using them well. But yeah, like I said, it's it's just like that nice balance between electronic and proper instruments, which really goes well here. So yeah, and another part of the songs that I really like the build up as well, because the introduction, like any other song, if it should give you an idea what kind of song it is, but after a cymbal sound, it then goes on to the electronic bits and the guitar comes in, so it's this nice slow build up, and with just like the sound of the electronic sounds, that's where you're like, okay, so this is going to be a song with a bit of a bop in it, which it definitely is. And then it starts to get a bit more thuddy during the verse, especially when the lyrics kick in and all start coming about. And then the choruses, they're very well done. I really like just like has like a quick build up where there's, I think it is keyboard where it has when what's it called, like a piano climb, where obviously, well, with a piano climb it's like literally like putting your finger through the piano keys to create a almost like the introduction of ABBA's Dancing Queen. But in the pre-chorus of this song, it's twirling your fingers quickly to like not create a slide, but definitely create the notes quickly. And what does it go like? Oh yeah, so it's slightly higher, then slightly lower, and boom, the chorus comes in, and it's really nicely done. I like it when songs do that, especially when they're the right notes, and also the vocals become stronger as well. Because thinking about it, a lot of the vocal work in the song is just nice and straightforward. Only a couple of longer notes by Alexandra, he's a really good singer, and it's the same with Vitan as well. His vocals are, the type of vocals he's going for. They're vaguely the same alongside of a couple of longer notes at the end of a couple of sentences, and yeah, I think it works with the lyrics, well, with the kind of song it is, because I didn't realise I had this much to say about the song. Sorry about that. It's just sometimes when I listen to music, I'm more of a instrumental fan than a cappella fan, and because there are like some songs I dislike where the vocals kind of overtake the instrumentals at a point where it just creates a bit too much of a balance for me, because I feel like vocals should work with the instrumentals, and that's of course why I do prefer like a song instrumental or just a nice instrumental track compared to an a cappella, because a cappella can work with what it wants to achieve, and it does sound nice from a couple of times I hear it. But I think putting a load of instruments together, I don't know, I think it achieves more, or can achieve more, compared to a cappella, so they've gone for that. And so anyway, I feel like that was a bit of a weird point, but hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from. And other highlights, so in the two pre-choruses, the first one kind of carries on with the instrumentals of the first verse, but in the second verse, the pre-chorus is slightly different. It's a bit more echoey. Some of the instruments stop, and it's just to create more of a almost like a deeper feeling atmosphere, and then it manages to still build up quickly. And during Vitan's bridge section, I really like the bit where I think it's the piano that has to like the notes like constantly, like a thud in between. Yeah, because I really like it when um, like when the same piano chord just gets repeated a couple of times, but with the same beat and the same weight, and yeah, it was just really nice to listen to. It helps vary the song and adds to the weight to the song as well. And yeah, I think that's all I can say. Definitely a highlight in Alexandra's career. I like the acoustic version as well, and I think the acoustic version still has a couple of the points that I've said for this one. But yeah, like I said, the acoustic one, it has these different instruments. The use of the cello is really interesting. I like the light percussion. I feel I haven't seen the acoustic video in a while, but I feel like it was one of those boxes um how would you describe it? Almost like knocking the box, the same way you knock a door. I swear it sounds like one of those boxes you hit a couple of times to create like a lighter percussion sound, unless it's done by a drum. But regardless, yeah, I really like it. Yeah, that really adds to the acoustic feel of it. And as mentioned, Vitan's not in the or Vitan rather, he's not in the bridge of the acoustic version, but in the acoustic version there's a nice instrumental where the cello gets to show off and the piano gets in a bit, and then Alexandra does the last half of the bridge, which is really interesting to hear, because when you hear this version, like, oh, what would have Alexandra sounded like if she did the bridge, and the acoustic version kind of provides that answer. So yeah, I think that's all I can say with this one. So yeah, if you like your normal, straightforward Euro pop songs, then this is definitely the one for you. I kind of see this one as the most like the most normal one, you could say. Just when you like think of the most stereotypical or normal pop songs you could think of, I feel like this it's like the most normal one, because the other ones you listen to have a bit more experimentation, they stand out more. And if I was recommending this kind of genre to people, this is definitely one of the first ones I would go for, because yeah, it's just a really nice solid track. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the next one. Alright, next up, and this is a name, well, one of the names rather, that you'll see every now and again, and his name is Akcent, and I feel like he's more of a prominent figure because his name is also a label, like one of those small music labels that like works with like the bigger music label. That's the impression I've got. Well, that's more the impression I got with another track which I'll be talking about, but yeah, in this case, I'm sure it's his in like, oh, I don't know, have I see? Oh, yeah, not gonna lie, I can see that I'm not the biggest music video watcher. I just keep listening to one by one. Like I said, it would be nice to rewatch all of these music videos, but yeah, for now I'm just going from snippets. But yeah, not to mention the music videos are like as cool as they are. I think they're just their own thing, because their job is to help visualize a song, when I'm mainly talking about just listening to it. But even then, I can still account for it, but it's not the biggest, like not the best way to rank a song, because not every song has a music video, especially a lot of singles over the years. But anyway, let's go on to this track. So as you can see, this one is actually a remix, and it is very rare to have a song where I kind of feel like it's let's say slightly better than the original. And so the other the only other example I can think of where where I prefer a remix of the original is that they wanted back in, I think it was 2010, they did a song called Heart Vacancy, which is a really nice track on its own, but there are two remixes, one of them called the DJs from Mars remix, and then there's another called the Tonka Dedicated remix, both which are really nice and worth talking about on another day. But yeah, like this with this song Dilemma, the one of the only songs in this list that has English lyrics, which is rather interesting. And yeah, so I think if talk about the original first, so I've listened to it again recently, and I remember not being keen on it at first, but after listening to it again, it's warmed up to me a bit because in the original song, it's a lot of it is quite repetitive throughout. It's nice percussion and a couple of nice notes. I think it's probably vocalizing that's been edited. Just goes in and out. Like I said, it is really interesting, and also the original is slightly slower in terms of the lyrics compared to this remix. But in this remix, however, so both the repetitive nature is doesn't really exist here. If anything, it has other types of repetitive stuff. It has a couple of its own repetitive notes, its own repetitive percussion, and yeah. So going from notes, yeah, like there's then the first instrumental, which is the same as the end. So it is one of those song approaches where it has a much longer instrumental introduction, compared to the Alexandra track, and it even has uses the same again to end the track, which I like. Especially in a lot of songs, whether songs end like that or just flat out ends, or letting it fade out. I like any of them. It just depends on how it's executed and that. But not gonna lie, I do prefer when a song properly ends as opposed to just letting it fade, because yeah, I just remember someone I know saying, "Oh, it's almost as if the chorus would keep repeating," which yeah, like I said, it's not a bad thing, but I think also it just means when you're like performing the song, it would have to find a way to stop it at its track, which I think could be quite abrupt. But I think other people improvised it by forming an instrumental. But anyway, we're not talking about how songs end. So, well, yeah, let's just go back to this one. So yeah, both the intro and the outro have their own nice set of. I think it could be a keyboard. It could be, you know, notes put together on a computer, and these notes they're very I want to say accurate. It's because like when like on Photoshop where you have like a hard brush and then a soft brush. I feel like if putting that into notes, these notes are, if like softer brushes are making it, just like really nice and soft, have a nice echo to it, and has a very I want to say like tropical, because because when I was first listening to this song, it was like during the summer when it's nice and warm, and I remember thinking, that kind of matches. But that's just me. And a lot of people associate it with different things depending when they first listen to a track. And also, yeah, speaking of which, this song is a bit more electronic heavy compared to the Alexandra track. I don't think this Akcent song, this one or the original, have much acoustic or instrumental elements. Yeah, a lot of it is created on the computer, but both do it quite well. And yeah, so yeah, once again, the intro and outro have their own kind of notes. The verses, despite some build up, it uses like the similar sounds, and then in the chorus, that's where the notes are a bit more solid. And but just going back to this song, I think because Akcent writes his own music, I think that's part of the charm why I like the instrumental parts, because I think the singing builds up to it. I want to say that's the pre-chorus, and then the chorus is all instrumental, and it is a bit. It has repetition, but like a nice repetition. It's quite lengthy. It's just like a collection of notes made on the computer, and very nice percussion as well. And even when the chorus is played for the final time, there's some nice abstract female harmonies or vocals, which sound really nice and really adds to like a nice eeriness to the track. And it's the same kind of vocaling which was used at the intro and outro as well. And and I think those female vocals, it was done by Meriem herself. I don't think I've listened to her discography, but I do like her in this track. I like her really good involvement because it's Akcent for most of the time, and similar to the Alexandra track, Akcent's vocals and even Miriam's, actually no, not Meriem, Akcent, he uses some nice simple vocals once again. Alexandra, I think, has I've seen Alexandra in their previous song and in other songs, able to pull off other vocal skills, you could say. Akcent, on the other hand, outside of sorry, a couple of longer notes and also being able to sing quickly as well. Yeah, he's just he's just a nice singer, because you get it because you have a singer and then you have a vocalist, and Akcent right here is just a nice vocalist. He's not Celine Dion or Andy Bell, where they have tons of range to their voices. Like I said, Akcent is, him and other artists, they're just I like to sing just normally, especially depending on what the song is, because sometimes vocals are kept simpler to make the instrumental part stand out, and I think that's the case here, because I feel like if you try and be vocal over a song like this, which might have a bit of busy work, I think that can be messy. And but in this case, it's just kept mostly simple, despite the nice layers to it, and the kind of tropical atmosphere it has. I'm not sure if I called it exotic earlier. I mean like a tropical exotic. But yeah, Meriem, on the other hand, I think she has like a similar vocal range to Alexandra, where it is just really just really nice. And despite only singing a couple of lines, it's just really nice, because even the pre-chorus, which are my favourite parts of the track, there's both Akcent and Meriem, they take their turns with the lines, and it creates like a romantic feel almost, and I really like that. And but on top of that, Meriem is able to there's just a couple of vocalizing bits and bobs that she does, especially during the bridge of the track, where it gets more sporadic, but just like a nice sporadic. And and as for the music video, there's like other remix songs, even The Wanted has this with Par Vacancy, whether it's the original or the remix, they use the same music video. But in this case, it does use the same music video, except that the remix version speeds up the footage and the cuts in that. I still like either of them, and I think the music videos do well to represent what the song sounds like. It kind of was similar to how I felt when looking at it. It's night time, but it's nice and blue, and it looks warm at the same time. And I think that's all I can say for this one. I think the only other thing I can say is that I think it could be an electronic drum, which I do really like, and despite being a bit more of the same speed throughout, it's nice and thuddy, which I really like. But so if you are into like a nice remix based song, that doesn't have too much busy work, then this is the kind of track that's for you, because normally remix songs are either overcomplicate a song or they just add snippets which don't really need to be there and only mildly add to the song. But in this case, it feels like a different tune compared to the original, and yeah, you do get a nice proper contrast, and either one can work depending on what you're into. So yeah, even if you're not keen on remix tracks, I still recommend this one. Just really nice. You'll probably have a really nice time listening to this track. Without further ado, let's get on to the next one. Alright, so Akcent, who I mentioned earlier, he had some minor involvement in this track, and that's evident by when you've gone to this song's own music video within Rotom Music. It says Akcent Music, like with his own logo, which explains why I think Akcent is a bit more than an artist. He probably writes a lot of stuff, and he's probably wrote this song too, whether it's the instrumental of the lyrics, either way. Yeah, this song is fantastic. It's this song, despite having similar pop elements to the previous two, this one has a bit more rock elements thanks to a guitar that there's a skill called chugging where you vaguely cover the strings with your hand to mute the sounds a bit, and then if you keep whacking the strings, it creates this interesting almost space sound, but obviously lighter than the bass. And that's common throughout the verses, and then they're properly strums during the chorus, and then there's cool solo bits which happen after the first chorus and the second chorus. Both of them being different, and they sound very like the notes of the rest of the song, which is rather nice. And this song is also it has a very nice music video as well. It's pretty much a love song, and like I said, the music video shows that really well. And then in between it has two vocalists. This track does, which is really cool. And we can not only see those playing, but I really like the vocalists between these two. It gives me similar vibes to one of my favourite Eurovision songs, is called Rona, back in 2017, Estonia I think it was, and it has two artists. One of the male is called, I forgot his name. I think his name is Koit. It's spelled Kiot or Koit or IOT as I meant it, something like that. But in that song Rona in Eurovision, for those who may not remember, there's a really nice exchange between female and male vocals, and they kind of remind me of the vocals in this song, where the female songs are quite long and strong, and then the male's vocals are it's just like a nice amount of deepness to it. And and the male vocalists actually no, they take it turns almost to sing. The male sings the first verse, the female sings the second verse. The male has the bridge, but then when it comes to the chorus, the male sings the first half of the chorus, and then the lady follows on. And I really like the exchange in that. It almost reflects like two perspectives of a relationship, almost, if not it's a singular perspective, but with different vocals along the way. It's a really nice touch, because I really like it when there's different vocals that come out and about. And also both these vocalists do work well with, I say vocalist, like vocalist often means a much stronger singer who often does more with their voice, but I think I'm just meaning vocalist as just a synonym for singer, but I could still call them that, because both of them have some variety of harmonies and are able to achieve quite long notes as well, especially in the chorus, to emphasize the strength of it. And there's also this nice piano that has its own tune to start off the track, and then there's some dinging which plays in the bridge, and then yeah, and then that same one from the bridge appears at the end of this song as well. And I think there is a synth as well that kind of comes alongside the guitar strums, hence why the guitar is more prominent, where it's doing the individual strings on the solos after the chorus. So yeah, I think the synthesizer is a bit more prominent in the chorus, but yeah, it just has there's a really nice thud to the chorus every now and again. It's almost as if every like a single line has about two thuds, and yeah, the way it just starts off the with a thud in the chorus, it's it's just it just results in a romantically strong tune, and yeah, and it does have that contrast between gentler, more peaceful verses, and then the emotions explode a bit more during the chorus, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, so overall, just a really nice mix between pop and rock, and some just an overall electric vibe to it, not only with the instruments but just in its energy as well. It does very well with because most of the songs build up I talked about, they take a couple of seconds to build up. But in this instance, it has a very tiny pre-chorus which is made up of half a lyric, and then the first line is sung even before the instruments of the chorus begins, and then it thuds, and it's like, wow, it just built it up so quickly. It's really it's extremely cool. And yeah, this is yet another guitar tab which another piece of music that you can look on in my guitar website, because you wonder like if people from other countries, if they write the same as we do, and I think they do. Like if with ABBA, they just go from the basics and beyond. If looking at it from like a general music perspective, but I think all music is written the same, regardless of what language or country that's a part of you. Because if anything, it's the genres and languages and the use of instruments. I think that's what varies music-wise. But yeah, in terms of writing it, I think the basics are all still there. If anything, there's various countries that have helped introduce many guitar elements, like staccatos I've heard of, if that's one of the right terms. Yeah, it's just I think we'll move on. Like I said, this is just another fantastic track. All right, so next up we have a Christmas song, which might explain the title, and I also double checked it was also out in December. Yeah, and I quite like this one as a Christmas song because when it comes to me and Christmas songs, I tend to like the songs that, because sometimes a lot of people have to mention something Christmassy to make sure it's a Christmas song, but with this instance, it's using more alternative imagery to still get that December feel. It's not just in the lyrics; it's also in the music, and even the way the vocals are used. They feel very like warm, which like warm in contrast to the cold almost. And it talks about snow falling down and angels singing. Yeah, they're just these little tidbits which are enough to justify itself as a Christmas track. But yeah, just like from the top of my head, what Christmas songs do I favour? I really like A Spaceman Came Travelling. I really like that one. It's almost a retelling of the classic Bethlehem story, but just like a minor sci-fi twist. I remember listening to that, and it's quite eerie and atmospheric, and I really like the chorus. It's just the weight of it as well, and despite being like one of those songs which I have listened to one too many times, definitely not as much as any other popular Christmas track, but yeah, it's just the one I'm able to savour, and yeah, it's great. I also really like Amid the Falling Snow by Enya. That is like a really nice, gentle song. Like all of their work is like really peaceful, but for them to turn her genre into her genre, or just it's new age music she does, I think that's what it's called. But you know, with the style she has, and to interpret that into Christmas music, it's not just that, but in other songs as well. But even then, Amid the Fallen Snow just shows that off really well. Not to mention My December by Linkin Park. I personally see it as a Christmas song. I was listening to it during December, and it gives me past nostalgia of uh, just Christmas in secondary school. At Christmas time, so less present compared to primary school years, and for it to have like a more of a sad atmosphere to it, I think it was really interesting. It has like a deep piano across, and it also shows that Linkin Park was already kind of good with pop music, even though they were deep into the heavy metal stuff. And finally, I just thought of one more. Oh gosh, what was it? Um, oh my god, what was it? What was it? No, I forgot. I like the Pretenders Christmas track as well. Maybe it'll click back to my head again, but yeah. Um, yeah, so yeah, just going back to this song. So yeah, just I like the other Christmas songs I like, not too Christmassy, not trying to force the theme into it. Like I'm not saying other Christmas songs force it. There are just cases where, oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry about that. I thought something wrong just happened. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, there are songs more than others where they, like I said earlier, they try and add more of an emphasis, to make sure it's Christmas track, like adding bells and trying to reference everything Christmassy to try and create the ultimate Christmas track. But if you go for the songs I like, where they only just add subtle hints and they create enough of a wintry theme, then that's enough for me and probably to others as well. But yeah, what do I like about this one? Yeah, the pianos throughout a really nice piano tune. Yeah, very tinkly. It's very reminiscent of like stars or snow falling, and yeah, there's a lot of an echo in the piano as well as like these tinkly light notes. It has like the deep echo parts as well, and yeah, it's just it provides a lot of atmosphere, and there's like some minor electronic elements as well. Like there's an electric drum that is whacked every now and again during like the second chorus, and yeah, it just adds a bit more flavour, and it almost sounds like an electric gush in the wind almost. That's like the thing you like, because despite having limited instruments, it's able to create enough of an atmosphere. Not to mention, I feel like the piano being high or low is a bit of a match between Andrea's vocals and Petrisor's vocals. Sorry if I missaid that. But yeah, I feel like it parallels that way, and the music video also, you know, it's just like with the lighting in that it establishes enough of a Christmas setting as well. Nothing too explosive. But yeah, I think this Christmas track has the least resources, but achieves the most. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I think this has like the greatest parallel with that compared to any other Christmas song. And oh yeah, not to mention, yeah, the male sings the lyrics in their language, and she sings it in English. Quite a nice touch. There's not many songs which go back and forward between English and foreign lyrics. I like it though. If anything, I've heard of English songs which then have like a minor foreign segment. Both Erasure did that once with it doesn't have to be, and even Lady Gaga has done it multiple times, mostly in the extended version of Bad Romance around the bridge. So yeah, a nice simple Christmassy tune. I definitely recommend it, and yeah, I think Christmas songs is just a whole other topic. I found tons, and yet there's some which are prioritised. Some far too much than others, which I know you have to place it once every year, but in my world, sadly, not every of my Christmas songs in my playlist gets played yearly, and sometimes it helps refresh it. Well, after all, it's not just about the music. If anything, the music does help, but there's other Christmassy things that can be done too. Like the decorations and YouTube videos. They're not gonna lie, that actually help. But anyway, yeah, let's get out of December. But yeah, the Amos Christmas song on the list. Yeah, well done them too. So, not gonna lie, I had two results when putting this title through Google Translate. So I'm not sure if this is correct or not, so I'll apologise for that. I've heard mixed things about Google Translate, but I think the name is correct, that's for sure, because if some people remember, sorry, but yeah, the Eurovision song El Diablo from a year or two ago, yeah, she's the artist who did that track, and not only was it quite a shock to see me connect the dots, because I think I encountered this song first, and then her appearance on Eurovision, not knowing that they were the same person. But yeah, I think this is the track that made me go, like, wow, there's more to European music than Eurovision. I better start exploring. And, went on to Panic Records, wrote on music, cat music, as shown earlier. And yeah, many more. Facing the Sun is another. Um, so, sorry. Ah, so yeah, just yeah, a really interesting way to start this streak of mine. Because when I explore new music, I hop from one thing to the next. I have like go through channels, then older artists, then newer artists, going back into what rock's been up to, and then any song I collect in a temporary playlist, I listen to it again and see if I want to keep it or not. And yeah, not to mention the song does have a cool live version where it has like an alternative sound for the song, one that I think is just as nice, because this is a bit more explosive, while the other ones has like a small bit of gloominess to it. I'll talk about that live version there. And yeah, not to mention the live version has her vocals only during the live version, but in the music video, her vocals are more in layers, with possibly backing singers, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is a proper sassy track. It gives me a bit of a Mabel vibe, except that Eleanor here is she has just a bit more sassiness with her voice, and yeah, just a bit more of a. She sounds a bit more of exotic as well, which definitely suits um, a, a track like this. Sorry, got it stuttery. So yeah, it suits this song well, because yeah, it sounds like a romantic song. According to the title, even if it could be wrong. But yeah, a lot of interesting elements. There's loads of keyboard work. There's a riff that starts the song, and then there's slightly bassy notes that come about. Then there's like additional sound effects that during the chorus, a couple of bleeps, which sounds cool. and her vocal range of Balan, she's just rather good. Yeah, as well as being able to sound sassy, she's also able to lower her voice a bit, even quicken the voice, and a couple of longer notes. And she's able to reach high notes without going too screechy either. So yeah, rather good. It does kind of remind me of her work in El Diablo, the Eurovision track, which they're both very different tracks. I can't really say which one I like better, but I think this track I'm more familiar of, especially liking this song for nearly 5 years, I think. And and also you have the second verse, which is a bit more echo and bassy, and I also really like the bridge as well. They bring in a guitar, which it just helps vary the song a bit, and it somehow sounds a bit like the rest of the track, just about how electronic it is. The percussion work is also rather hard, and I think there's a strumming acoustic in the verses as well, probably in the chorus too. So yeah, a lot of interesting elements. In the live version, it's mainly sticks to the synth stuff. It still keeps the guitar for the bridge, but it's just something else I kind of figured out about it. And sorry if I sound a bit repetitive, and I'm also just jumping from one bit to the next, aren't I? Yeah, you can tell that these videos are unscripted, but what kind of helps me is that by just looking at this page, it just makes me think of everything to say, and it just what helps me make the videos. But yeah, I think that's all I can say about it. So yeah, just very reminiscent of music nowadays with the dance elements. It's still able to have really cool build up, some cool notes. I like the sound effects, and vocals are rather good. Well deserved to be on Eurovision. They're one of the more sassiest songs on this list, and and a very good one at that. Because like sassy songs don't often work with me sometimes, but once again, if it's not added too much, and I'm all about weight, build up, and choices of notes. Just what the instrumental aspects of the song have to do well, because even if a song has good vocals, the instrumental parts have to grab me first. And songs like this, do get that. Just get me, I suppose. And I think it's one of the best songs in this channel as well. So yeah, well done, channel. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, so on to what I think was one of my favourite pop songs of 2017. I remember encountering this after school, because after being in school for let's say 11 years. It was just then just moving on to a different type of education, and in between you have this mixed one of the longest summer I've had during the time, and then this song came about, and I was like, yeah, wow. Because interestingly enough, this song was released a year or two before, but just encountering it in the year I found it, it's pretty much the anthem of my summer of 2017. It's this song's rather cool. Lartiste here, the male bloke, he's mainly a rapping artist, because when you go into his other stuff, and actually I think the same could be said here, because he sort of raps the verses, but there's a bit more of a vocal edge to it when he has his role in the chorus, and even the instrumental parts as well, and not to mention the pre-chorus as well, because there's artists like Flo Rida who can sort of sing in between his rapping, and I think the same could be said with Lartiste here, if that's the way of saying his name. By the way, Awa Imani, yeah. She has a song later on in this video, but yeah, she too is an excellent singer. Sorry, I felt like I missed a pronunciation of that one. Yeah, so just a very summary song, and it's like one of those. It's a song that's only made up of a couple of chords that sound a bit like a synthesizer. There's a tiny bit of guitar in there as well, which is cool, and there's an electric drum as well. Which when it comes to modern music, I really like those electric drums. You know, like the kind of drums where you just like whack the squares on the pad and they create this snappy sound. It's I really like them. I think I do prefer a proper drum because of the thud and the variation you can do with them. But I don't know. I think electric drums you can do its own kind of variation as well. And I think you can reach higher speed with it, although I think that's something that the computer does perhaps. But regardless, I still really like it. But yeah, when I listen to the instruments of the song, it's either the instrumental stuff or the percussion work. And not to mention, it's probably one of my favourite starts of a song ever because it has the slow guitar and a tiny bit of synth, and there's like a whistling sound that comes about, which that same melody comes again, but it's done on a bigger scale with more notes to back it up. But it's just a really nice way of introducing the song, and then you just have the artist just going, yeah, as it begins the song, and yeah, oh my god, it just captures me immediately. I remember a time where I used to just like the song because of those opening seconds, but you know, and then was just listening to it to a thing as a whole. Because here's another interesting thing: sometimes one part of a song is so good, it makes you want to listen to the rest. You know, what was it like when it came after? What did it sound like when it came before? And one example I could think of is listening to Heart by Roxette. If you remember, the final chorus it's done in a different key, which sounds more sad and deeper compared to what the first two choruses sound like. But I just remember liking that part so much, and so when I was listening to the rest of the song, I'm like, yeah, it's just almost like building up towards it. And not to mention Listen to Your Heart also has that instrumental part at the end which carries on the vibe of the last chorus. And yeah, they just knew that was probably like their best instrumental segment, and they're like, yeah, let's just carry on doing that, and it's just really good stuff. But yeah, I think the same can be said with this song. You know, had a really good intro, and they just made it tougher, you know, with the main melody and the small guitar and the echoing and synth just slowly coming in, and the way Lartiste introduces himself in the track. That's where you can kind of see, oh yeah, it's like one of those cool tracks. Possibly could be a rap song of some sort. And yeah, I remember seeing this on YouTube. There's a like performance of the song as well, and the way they play off each other is really good. Yeah, it does mainly have electronic elements, and also this song really sounds nice on the piano. When I've heard a piano cover of this song, and there's a remix of this as well, a really cool one. Probably the first result you get when you type it in on YouTube. It sounds really nice. Yeah, just add some like extra, like an extra tropical layer on top of this song. And yeah, regarding the structure, so yeah, Lartiste has the first verse, Awa or Awa, however her name is pronounced. She has the second verse, and I think it's I think it is a two-way perspective where the man and the woman of the couple have their own perspective on the relationship, because it's yet another love song, a bit more of a edgier, upbeat one, because most romantic songs tend to be quite soft and cheesy, but you know that's not really the case here. And And yeah, I really like the pre-choruses as well, the way they just build up. Like this is small singing sound effect that comes about, and then there's like a small thud, and there's a small melody that occurs, and then the drum work speeds up, and then it goes, and then it crescendos into the chorus, and yeah, and also in the chorus they literally go back and forward between Lartiste and Awa, and with Awa having the given a bit more to do. She has a couple of extended lines later on in the chorus, which is great stuff. And I like these little synth notes that happen in between. And yeah, it's just overall a very cool modern. I personally see it as a summer song because of where I listened to it from. It may have not been released during the summer, but I just think I think it's summery nonetheless. And yeah, it's just a fab track. Definitely one of my favorite European tracks, alongside a majority on this list. Because the other favorites I have is like the Alexandra. Actually, pretty much the first three tracks on this list, plus a couple of Eurovision ones. I would say they're my favorite European pop songs. And yeah, this one, definitely has a special place in my heart somewhere. Yeah, it's very nostalgic. So yeah, once again, if that's the kind of music you're into, then I would recommend it. Lartiste is becoming very popular recently. It's even been played on stereos when I was on holiday abroad. So the credit to him is definitely paying off, and he's definitely got more of an audience. He does go for more rap heavy songs recently. Ones that they're still good. They have a cool beat to it, and I really like his vocals. But there's songs like these, and there are upcoming ones which have that nice chime to them, which I believe result in some of his best work. So yeah, let's go on to the three other Lartiste tracks on this list. Alright, so now on to another track I encountered once I started listening to more to Lartiste, and I felt like this one's an older one, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, this one's extremely nice. Because I think he's from Morocco. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I thought I encountered when I last researched him. But yeah, um, this song has a very nice exotic nature because throughout the song it has that same acoustic guitar melody, which is like so crystal clear. It's really nice, and then in between you do have an occasional percussion from an electronic drum every now and again, and then there's like some minor synth work in the background, just like some long notes during the chorus. And then you have, his vocals that do layer during the choruses. Well, I feel like they layer more so after each chorus, and each chorus is a bit more powerful than the last, even longer than the last as well. So to very like that, it's a very nice detail. And then even during the verse, a couple of the verses, there are cases where, because he's the backing vocalist as well, like he goes for backing vocals that are a bit more higher, which I do like his higher vocals. And it's just nice straightforward song. A lot of it's repeated, but because how already nice it sounds, especially with the guitar sound and the using the same notes throughout, it's just extremely nice. But like I said, because with how much it's added to the chorus, with more vocals and a bit more emphasis on the synth, that's its own way of progressing, which I think is enough to get the job done. Because it's another song that kind of pucks you in, because like I said, I really like the exotic nature, and the guitar's the highlight, and the song's like quite steady as well. It's like a slower one, but it's just like very just very snazzy, but also just has like a good amount of weight to it. So it's almost reflective. It's like a nice song to sit while watching the sun. It's just I guess you that kind of feeling. So I really like that, and it's definitely like one of those more acoustic tracks, and I hope he goes back to it, because at the moment he's going into more modern rap, which I like his style of it, but I just hope he doesn't stray too far away from, like material like this. Not to mention the other tracks I mentioned as well, like I said, because they have like a nice emotional weight to it, despite the speed of and not the core nature of the tracks as well. I hope he doesn't step away too far from it. So yeah, like I said, yeah, just extremely a nice track, and yeah, we'll go on to the next one. So yeah, when I was interested in listening to even more of Lartiste, this was like the first song I came across when I was started to explore more of his music, and yeah, then I encountered this track, which is part of a bigger album. It does say right here actually. A lot of full nice tunes, but yeah, this one got me the most, and Rimke, I think he's like the second rapper that appears during the second or third chorus, to help mix it in. But yeah, the song has like a very nice weighty feel, because yeah, the way it starts, it has like a very snazzy piano, which establishes the main melody, and then there's almost like a electronic whistle almost, because I don't know, just it almost sounds like a whistle, but I think it is just another synthesizer instrument, just make just like I said, just a very nice whistle sound. It helps establish the notes and like the feel of the song, and then during the beginning of the song, it then goes on to the chorus verse, and then with the percussion coming in, and the way the Lartiste layers the vocals. No, perhaps with Rinke's being part of the choruses as well. It's just sounds really nice and sweet, and and also like Chocolat, Lartiste, he has like the way he raps or sings, he um like because like when just looking at just comparing them to, and also like the other songs as well, um because as well as like having a vocal style which is like quite high, um and a bit more emotional, but then you have like the other angle where he makes himself like sound cool, but yeah, to be able to go forward and back, especially in a song like this, that is extremely well done. And I do like the following rapper as well. He has like a much deeper voice that's like a bit slow. Also, that's a lot of weight to it. And then as the song ends, he gets like more snappier, and like he takes his time with each word. And it just creates like a very nice build up, because even that piano melody, just by being in chords, it does build up at the end of both verses, and then um, and also I really like the ending of the song, because so a lot of song endings just play the instrumental of the chorus without the vocals, or just like to give you an idea for what this chorus sounds like. But just playing the instrumental chorus alone to help end the song, just it almost like gives you an answer for what was that chorus sounding like, and it kind of gives you the answer. Because Baltimore's is it Baltimore, the 80s band that did Tarzan Boy, that does that as well, where just showcases what the instrumental of the song is like, well, the chorus was like, without the vocals, and it just helps out answers the mysteries, leaving you satisfied, and then it just slowly ends the track. So yeah, this song does that too. So yeah, I do really like that, and because I like the nice thumping percussion. I really like the memorable melodies, whether it's the whistle or whistle. That's actually my part of the chorus too, and then um, just some like really cool piano chords. It's just great because um, I think Lartiste is definitely more of a rap artist, especially like what he makes afterwards. But yeah, like rap songs nowadays tend to go for like minimal electronic parts, with like the electric drum, and smash track electronic moments, but you know, to have like piano chords that mixed in there, I just felt like I haven't heard that kind of mixture in a while. B.O.B's so good, also has like a very nice, well, that has like a more very distinct, clearer piano compared to this song, but I really like that B.O.B track. It's yeah, just the yeah, I just really like the mixture because that song is like a proper summer feel, and I felt like this one kind of does as well. So I didn't know the piano was so summery. um, so yeah, yeah, just a very cool track. So yeah, let's get on to the last sister track before we end his little quadrilogy video. Alright, so the last Lartiste track to go there. So I feel like also like Mes Regrets. I think what's that to pronounce that, you know, the other one, the second one. Yeah, I feel like this came before the collaboration with Room K and probably before Chocolat as well. It kind of feels like older, but I could be wrong. But also like Mes Regrets, it also has like a lot of acoustic elements. But yeah, when listening to this again, yeah, there's a lot of acoustic elements, but this one does have more to listen to compared to Mes Regrets, and uh, yeah, so yeah, it does start off with and also maintains a guitar and a piano which work alongside very well. It's almost like the way like they like jumble and well, I say jumble in a good way. If anything, it's just a very nice juggle between you know these really nice high piano notes alongside just a very cool rocky guitar. And yeah, I was just surprised when listening to the song again because yeah, even the guitar has like a lot of cool moments because it's very twangy throughout, which creates you know its own kind of exotic nature and yeah, just you know not only um you know, like a summer kind of exotic. Yeah, it's just it almost feels like kind of flirty in its own way, and I kind of feel the same about uh, you know, Chocolat and Mes Regrets as well. And but yeah, even the song, the guitar has you know just sort of moments like you know it like bends its note, and yeah, for those who are unfamiliar with guitars, you know, sometimes you like press the note of the guitar, and if you like move the string up or down, it creates like a uh, just like in a different sound, almost like a car vehicle sound almost. Yeah, it's far easier to do on electric because of how light it is. Because in acoustic guitar, you know, the strings are extremely tightened because well, they have to be because you know they have it has to create its own sound. But with electric guitar, you know, to have notes like yeah, just yeah, a lot more freedom, especially with the amp and but yeah, just to here, yeah, the guitar, you know, does maintain well, just actually varies its levels throughout yeah, the song. But yeah, I just really like the bending parts, which I think takes place during like the end of the first verse, and also yeah, the percussion is also fab too, because when the song starts coming about, there's only like one beat of the percussion every 4 beats, but then after you know just doing that just like you know just like every now and again and then just before the chorus comes up it will then go yeah just like with its own cool electric drum and yeah I just thought that was a really cool way to help build up the song because even because as well as like the deep you know percussion slower sound which I just demonstrated just now I feel like it has like a very I can't even call it a drum. It sounds like bongo drums that I just tapped in throughout the chorus. Yeah, just added like a writing. It definitely makes it stand out compared to you know the other songs I covered. And and yeah, and yeah, this is yeah song so it's um yeah I think it's one of the quick ones I would say. You know, especially during the chorus, yeah, he puts on like quicker and you know vocals that are I'll have a bit more levity. And but not to mention there's other highlights because he puts on like some longer vocals too, not only the chorus but also at the end of the bridge as a slightly longer note which he puts on as well. So he does have so it's by being a good rapper, he does sing very well. And you know, I like the backing vocals as well because it goes for backing vocals that are a bit more in the background and a bit more deeper and cooler, and they're slightly more muted, and I kind of like that effect because especially with his forefront I was about to say vehicles, his forefront vocals are far more on the forefront, especially with how nice and clear they are, and yeah, like I said, the guitar and the piano tinkles throughout the song, which yeah, just very cool. I don't really know any other track that does that. Like granted, no, I think they're both the same, but I feel like with the piano, just it's like quicker with just covering more notes versus the slow guitar. So yeah, just that combination alone just makes this song yeah, fantastic in its own right. Absolutely, and definitely a highlight of Lartiste as well. Um, so yeah, I think that's all I can say for this one. Yeah, just another very cool track. Yeah, let's get on to the next one, shall we? Alright, so on to Alvaro Solia, someone who has quite a popular tune before, one that I really like. The best way to remember his track is that there's a channel called Younger Days or Younger Years, and in one video they did for the channel did for their top 100 tracks. I'm not sure if the channel's done by an individual or a group, but yeah, regardless, yeah, their top 100 tracks, despite a lot of it being made up of Britney Spears, they added one of their tracks, his most successful track called Sophia, which yeah, some fantastic summer track. And yeah, I encountered it summer 2016, and it was brand new back then. And when I was on holiday in Italy, it kept playing, and yeah, it's fantastic. Most of it's acoustic. There's a lot of whistling, which sounds like genuine whistling from people, and then there's even a bit of an accordion, and the drum works rather cool. The verse is made up of repetitive acoustic guitar strums, and there's a couple of interesting vocal work, like there's a small light chant that happens before the pre-chorus occurs, and yeah, it's very interesting, and even the bridge carries up the momentum a bit, and then it all stops, and he says the first couple of lines in the chorus where it gets all bassy and silent, and yeah, just yeah, it's all like one of those songs where it does repeat a lot of its elements, especially between the verse and chorus, and even the verse sounds the same, and yeah, not much of an outro except for repeating the chorus again. But you know, if the song already has a really good foundation, then yeah, it's absolutely fine. Anyway, that's a song for another day, but it does showcase a lot of elements. You know, he's the kind of artist who does seem to run on acoustic elements, and yeah, and outside of Sevilla, which is already a really cool song, there's other tracks of his which are worth the attention too, like this one. This one has a superb acoustic, if not it could be a ukulele, but it could be like a been a more expensive ukulele if it's able to sound more than what I've heard. Yeah, I'm not the most familiar of ukuleles, but yeah, the strum's more constant. There's some whistling in this one as well. Unless it's like a couple of things from a xylophone, I can't quite remember. And yeah, similar to Sophia, it's quick, but whilst Sophia, has the nice slower bridge and so slower parts in the verse before climaxing again with the chorus. Volar is Volar, I think it's pronounced as. It's more of the same speed throughout, and you have some interesting vocalizing from him as well, which appears after each chorus and what starts off the track as well. I haven't heard of a track start up like that before. Granted, there's always going to be harmonies in that, even in songs alike where the vocals is what starts a song when it's normally instrumental elements. But yeah, definitely a memorable way of starting off this track. And it does kind of remind me of Sophia. I don't think it was released too far after. Could even be the same album. Yeah, just a lot of elements shared. Granted, it doesn't have the accordion, but he still has a limited amount of instruments, and the depth of the song is also helped by his vocals multiplying in the chorus, and I think there's just only a tad more vocals in the final chorus to end the song in a more subjective way. But yeah, I think as a whole, including this song and Sophia, if you like songs with very upbeat, very summery, very make you happy and feel good, yeah, I definitely recommend him. But yeah, thanks to my exploring, as well as finding all of these songs, here is another one. This one is slightly different. This one is possibly the oldest song in this list, and it comes from the 2000s, I think. It kind of reminds me of a song that Sum 41 or Blink 182, the kind of song they make, but like a gentler one of that. It still has a very wacky guitar, and the bass is also very present, and the drum work is also kind of light as well. This is overall just a really nice track. It's a romantic one, and it's in French as well. It has words like merci, which a lot of us would know. Really nice music video as well, a tad summery, and it's just really nice and romantic. And the way it's structured is interesting because it starts off with his vocals only, then the bass comes in alongside the drums. The guitar doesn't really come until the second verse, where it starts adding more weight to the song, and then it has like its own miniature solo for the bridge, and then there's another part of the bridge where it goes like all silent again. And yeah, this song makes sure that his vocals are not only in the forefront, but just showing off well to make sure that the music doesn't drown out the vocals. Like, I'm a person who doesn't mind vocals, music overtaking vocals instead of vocals overtaking the music. Sorry if I got that a bit mixed up, but I think in this case, just once again, just very little resources, and they're still able to create a very, just a very nice track, and a lot of elements I like about it. And even this song was done less than a year ago, or from when I've last recorded this anyway, where they replayed the track in a studio, and they've added a female singer as well, and as like a co-singer, and they've varied a lot of the bits. More different piano work and different guitar work, just to add more variation to make the cover of the song stand out a bit more, which I like. Even if it's cool to go back to the same elements as the previous established song, but if you can do something else which is similar, works just as well, especially with the speed and the cues it needs to achieve, then to be able to do that, I think that definitely makes this band talented if on itself, in of itself. Yeah, so I should say that right. And I think this is definitely one of the more popular songs, thankfully, on this list. But I think when I see the million of views or less for these songs, I feel like not many of them would come from the UK. I could be wrong, but when looking at the comment section, I don't see many UK viewers. We could probably guess why. The UK is full of other people who have the spotlight more so than others. But yeah, once again, you need the variation, and yeah, and this one definitely stands out by being a soft rock song with French lyrics. And even when showing this to my acquaintance, the same person helps make me the guitar music, and he's basically my guitar teacher. I remember him being quite impressed with this song. He was like, you know what, I really like it, despite how simple it is. So yeah, I think that's more points for the song as well. So yeah, just another song which is nice in its simplicity. Yeah, very well done. Yeah, I think it's the only French track as well. Is that my favourite French song as well? Could be. But yeah, let's move on to the next track. Yeah, I have a feeling that Akcent, who was, in the two earlier songs in this video, I feel like he does have a role in this song. Whether, that's his real name or if he helped with the instrumental. I feel like there's something in there which hints that, because in the slightly rocky one, with the male and female vocalist, like his name was like mentioned in the music video, almost as if he owns like a tiny record company that helps write lyrics or instrumental parts for music, like assist other artists in some way. So there could be something like that in the music video in here as well. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about this song more specifically. So this one kind of reminds me of Dilemma, where it's very soothing, especially with how it starts off, and yeah, the male vocals are yeah, there's like some similarities, because I thought it was Akcent at first, but yeah, if it is a different person, it's a similar approach, like going for like a soothing voice to go alongside the instrumental, because yeah, it's like a couple of like echoey, like synthesizer notes that goes along the vocals, and then the percussion starts kicking in, and then that's where it goes onto the chorus, and then yeah, the chorus has yeah, Sandra ends vocals then, who yeah, very just very nice, sweet voice in there, and and as you may have guessed, it's this one's a romantic track as well. Yeah, almost like a two-way perspective of like just thinking of each other despite how far away they are, and because yeah, I just like the way how they both the how both Adrian and Sandra have their own softer vocals, and yeah, and despite really liking both, I really like Sandra's vocal. She has like a female vocal style, which is like very distinct, because it's because you can just there's like a really nice accent in between, especially how she ends lines with notes that go on slightly longer, and even the male vocalist has his highlights, because with when he helps ends the verse or the pre-chorus, he has like the higher Blanka note at the end, which is just a really nice touch, and then after Sandra ends her lines in the chorus, it then goes on to an instrumental chorus where it's like a keyboard rhythm that goes along with the vocals go. So yeah, there's like some, that's where it does become a bit similar to Dilemma, but Dilemma had a lot of vocal stuff going, well, not vocal stuff, but well, just a lot of instrumental stuff, like during the chorus, like the latter half of the chorus, or even the whole chorus, if the vocal stuff, is mainly just been for the verses and pre-chorus, and but yeah, so this one's definitely like more simpler in its approach, compared to Dilemma, because Dilemma has like a lot of stages, It's almost like a point where it has like two intros and the verse and the extended pre-choruses, and then yeah, and it's both just quite long, and then the way it ends, it takes its time like quite nicely. Yeah, but this one's just takes a nice simpler approach, because there's a lot of people I know that sometimes if they try and like if there's like a lot of instrumental stuff going on, and want to come a bit overwhelming. So for those who like a bit more of a simple approach, yeah, it's definitely the song for you. Yeah, the song has like a nice night feel as well as being just a very nice romantic tune, with both Adrian and Sandra's vocals just being nice and gentle. Definitely matches with the rest of the song, and just very nice. I want to say that this Sandra has appeared in this list also. I could be wrong though. But yeah, just a very well done, nice tune, and yeah, you'll see what I mean when it sounds similar to Dilemma. Yeah, see if it is done by Accent or not. But yeah, yeah, it's very nice receiving track. Yeah, let's go on to the next one. Now this one is one of my favourites at the moment, because when despite liking all of these songs, there's some which I favour more than others, and I would say this is one of them. This one has like a very good hook, and yeah, the way it like builds its momentum and continues it, yeah, it's a very well done song. But yeah, to describe it, has like an echoey light synth at first, and then the vocals come in, and the vocals, despite not using like any long notes, you can already tell that she does have quite a powerful voice, and it's the way she sings her voice during like the verses, or at least like verse first anyway. Um, it's almost like hidden under the radar vocals until she makes them a bit stronger, and then a bit more clearer, and then slightly less deep, and then and there's like this occasional piano that just like goes in every now and again as it builds up to the chorus. I really like that bit. It's just something I really like anticipating, and and then yeah, and then when we go into the chorus, yeah, the song pretty much changes speed, especially with the vocals like changing speed as well. And then after the chorus, it then has like the piano like showing off, and yeah, the notes it's gone for, yeah, just creating a very catchy song, and then yeah, then the piano does tinkle a bit during like the following verse, so yeah, nice to maintain it. And then there's like more percussion and just more of a thump during that following verse as well. So um, yeah, it's just very cool. Also, if you're wondering about the sound, it's just my laptop's fan. Um, so um, yeah, just the way it's built up, it's just like one of those songs where I just anticipate the lot. It pretty much hooks me um, from the start, and um, yeah, and even I remember that the bridge, yes, it like Mr. The Bridge has the like the instrumental stuff like just only being slightly present, but yeah, the voice then she has like and goes for like a tad more sentimental vocals, which sound a bit more higher. So yeah, just nice to hear what more of her voice is like, and um, oh gosh, yeah, what else is there to it? Um, yeah, it's just overall just very memorable as well. But yeah, not to mention during like the bridge and the first anyway. There's just it's like a synth sound where it almost sounds like the synth being thumped, but it's if anything, when you like hear bubbles and water, it's a bit like that. It's spacey, but it's not like weighty, but it's still like a lot of atmosphere when you hear it. But yeah, just hearing that as electronic notes, yeah, almost creates like a light dubstep feel, which yeah, it's like a very cool way it starts off the track, and it kind of maintains that throughout, even with additional elements added to it. And I think there's like additional vocals during the chorus as well, like a voice boom duplicated with some minor harmonizing as well. It's yeah, the way she sings them, whether it's a bit more soothing or going for like a quicker, snappy approach during the chorus. Because sometimes you can have like songs that accidentally have verses and chorus which don't really match, but I think it's just thanks to the note choices and the way it builds up towards the choruses, especially with the verse maintaining a lot of what else it's setting up later on. Like during the first verse, for instance. Um, I just really like the structure and the build up and the atmosphere. Um, it's just like very grand despite being despite being a bit of I would say there's I think it is like a party tune. I think a club would definitely enjoy this one. There could be like different versions of the song as well. I might be wrong. And I think there's a music video for it too, but I don't quite remember that either. But yeah, this one's just an awesome, memorable track. Definitely one of my favourites. Definitely shows off her skills well, and because when looking at the careers of all of these artists across Europe, they don't have big discographies. Like I know they're new, um, but I just hope they get on to more stuff, and because like I said, because all of their voices are fantastic, and choice of in music as well. They definitely know what suits them. Um, so yeah, very cool track. Let's go on to the next one. And yes, this is the same young lady who sang Chocolat with Lartiste. Yeah, it's her, and is it a cover song apparently? Okay, I'll need to see what the original is. That'll be interesting. But yeah, this one does sound like a soft ballad, but mostly most ballads stereotypically tend to have a piano, but in this one it just feels like some very light synth works, almost as if whoever's doing the instrumental has his or her hand on the keyboard for like quite a lengthy amount of time in between to create more like a gentle atmosphere, which is more like a tad anonymous and um, because I sadly don't know what the song's about, but it sounds either like it sounds like sad with like a tiny hint of hope, unless I've completely got it wrong. But yeah, that's how I feel about the song at first, because even the song has like a very like occasional percussion. It's like electronic percussion, but it's one that one hit and that echoes for a little bit, and and then I think it's like one or two gentle synthesizers, throughout the song. But then later on, after like the first two verses and chorus, I think it does have like more of a powerful bridge, especially when she puts on more the powerful vocals then, and there's a bit more synth work then. But yeah, with how the song is sang, there's like a lot of intimacy, because sometimes depending on what you song you listen to, there's some cases where you can hear vocals more than others, and I think when it comes to ballads, there's definitely more emphasis and clarity on the vocals, and yeah, this is definitely the case here. And she does seem to have a really nice voice, because in Chocolate, her voice is a bit more upbeat and light, and had like an sassy edge to it. But with this one, however, it's almost like another side to her, where she's able to perform good long notes. So yeah, she's definitely a vocalist, and yeah, we because far as I don't know, vocalist is what you would call someone who has like a really good amount of power to the voice, and yeah, she does seem to be the case. And yeah, the way she uses stronger vocals later on in the song, if like it's like that moment of, oh, you know, if the song wasn't emotional already, then it kind of does then. So yeah, despite not a lot of elements to listen to, it yeah, is extremely soothing. And yeah, there's just like moments that like touch you, especially with how the chorus starts with its own little soft notes and the occasional percussion, which you know, helps establish the speed of the song. And I mean, it just adds like a sense of surprise and shock whilst it maintains your attention. Yeah, I really like how that occasional percussion is used. And yeah, like, you know, just like, yeah, this was definitely like the song where, you know, after being impressed by Chocolat, you know, back in 2017, granted it was a year old before I encountered the song, but you know, I was just, you know, then just think after it made me glad I, you know, explore more of her material, you know, just like I did with Lartiste. And so yeah, if you do like you know, electronic songs that are soothing, you know, they still sound modern, and you know, a nice female vocal, which um yeah, it's definitely, I remember one. And yeah, and yeah, with the yeah, the way she like sings foreign lyrics, it's you know, it's extremely well done. And yeah, just makes the lyrics very easy to listen to. um so yeah, that's how I could save this one. So yeah, like I said, I'll see what the cover is, but um just it's just very soothing song. I kind of wish like a bit more songs like it, you know, just using electronic elements very lightly, you know, just let the voice show off. And yeah, just be able to generate a lot of atmosphere too. So yeah, take notes. Anyway, yeah, let's get on to the next one. So yeah, at first glance, yeah, she came from 2023's Eurovision. Yeah, it's her. And yeah, because I think 2023's Eurovision Song Contest, I think this was my favourite track of that year, because I did like the innocence and the catchiness of the song. Had like a nice simmer feel to it as well. So yeah, after keeping myself updated with everyone, she then releases this track, which yeah, it's a very like a very cool pop song. Yeah, definitely, but not one which I think other like pop songs could take note, because although in actuality there's a lot of similarities between this and my other pop songs today, where yeah, it's like an instrumental chorus, and then you know, after, you know, like a larger pre-chorus. And um, yeah, even the way she uses the vocals are quite reminiscent of um, you know, of other modern female artists as well. Um, but yeah, so focusing on this one though, yeah, it starts off with the chorus to help you know, establish what the song's like. And it's a chorus that doesn't have much of an instrumental at first, but in the following choruses, there's more synth work then. And the song does have like its own melody, which goes with how Blanka uses her vocals. You'll see how they both compare and parallel, you know, when she has her turn and the instrumental has their turn. And yeah, and also like during the verse, she does sing the song in a similar way to how she did in Solo, which is, you know, her Eurovision song. Yeah, she has like a very like a sassy voice that's quite light at the same time. Although in Rodeo, before, you know, getting onto the chorus, she uses like slightly higher notes, which you know, shows off more of the vocal skills. So you'd hear that, yeah, it's just yeah, real nice. And yeah, the I think I think it was slightly edited as well, because I feel like the high notes were like slightly layered, and even the chorus has is slightly layered as well, almost like sounding like backing singers. But no, it's just yeah, definitely her voice, but just multiplied. And yeah, this is definitely like a song of simplicity, where because other than remembering the main melody and um, how she has the vocals, yeah, it's almost as if the song's like made up of those two elements, yeah, like in the forefront. So yeah, because I guess it depends, when a song is like being layered, it can be very interesting what to point out and what made that sound. But then you do get a simpler tune where you can just like spot easily differentiate which element is which, and how they work together. And yeah, this one's yeah, definitely the case. But yeah, I felt like this song is a bit more like sweet compared to solo, because I think solo is a bit more of a like a sassy track, which yeah, but like shows off like the sassiness she has to her voice and even her own brand as well. But yeah, like I said, this one's just a bit more sweeter and a tad more like powerful, especially with the way it's built up. So yeah, it's worth mentioning this track because yeah, it just goes to show that she does seem to have a lot of momentum after Eurovision. Granted, I would like to get more familiar for every artist in Eurovision, because I've tried, because Polly Genova, who was Bulgaria 2016, she has quite a big. I think did I mention earlier in this video? Sorry, I don't remember if I did or not. I want to say I have, but yeah, she has a lot of neat songs, and Kino, who were Norway of 2019. They have a lot of good stuff outside of it as well. So yeah, depending who the artist is, yeah, they do well outside of their Eurovision track. So yeah, I like seeing that. It just makes it adds more present to those to those artists. Yeah, I think we're nearly done. One or two songs left. Oh, yeah, just two more after. um, so yeah, it's a very good song. She definitely has a lot of potential. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. Yeah, I do apologise. I couldn't really think of because I try and look for front covers first, but yeah, I think it's a struggle with this one. So it's just a snippet of a music video and tab blurry, but yeah, well, I think it kind of matches the vibe of the song, okay. But yeah, not gonna lie, I think once you listen to this song, even if a snippet of it in its intro and chorus, it won't leave your head. But I say that in a good way. There's tons of songs where there's I think we all get that feeling where there's like a repetitive thing that goes off in your head and it doesn't leave your head even when you temporarily forget about it. This is not the case here. The catchy tune here is far more daring. It's made up of a like a light, quick piano and some whistling and a very catchy chorus as well. It's one of those choruses where there's different lyrics there's different lines in between, but it repeats the song title in between. That's one of those kind of approaches, and yeah, I really like it here. And yeah, the chorus is sung by Denise here, and CRBL is he's a rapper, I would say, and he sings the verses, and yeah, I think he does it quite well. Yeah, the way he raps, it's quite suave, and yeah, there's no sharpness because even when his vocals have to like go with like the when it gets to something like that later on in the song, yeah, he does that well without sound to. In fact, there is like a bit of a snappiness in the end, which is kind of cool, but he does it alongside the music, which is yeah, really nice, especially how smooth the song is. Yeah, because that jovial piano, it goes throughout the track, and a couple of other elements. I think this probably has like a deeper saxophone noise in there as well. Not noise, a note which happens every now and again, and the percussion work's quite heavy as well. Quite like it, and yeah, the highlights is where once again at the end of the verses where it just goes like yeah, just something like that. It's can you hear that? Maybe, I hope it does. Um, Yeah, it's not a song I've listened to as much as the others, mainly because the other ones have a bit more nostalgia, a bit more weight, a bit more emotion. But considering, um, this is, more of a catchy focus song, it's one that does very well because once again, I think the piano work saves it. I like the alternative kind of vocals from both the artists. Music videos also kind of nice to watch. And yeah, is that I'm not sure if this is Denise who sings the female vocals. I feel like that's a different actress, but I think that's definitely CRBL, unless it's a lookalike, yeah, far as I can remember. Um, yeah, and the bridge silences the instruments for a bit. There's like a gushing sound effect which lasts, happens once, lasts throughout the verse, and the female vocalist has, she makes her vocals a bit more gentle and a small input for CRBL, and yeah, it there's that variation, and yeah, it's similar to Sophia where it repeats life aspects. Definitely, good aspects. Like I said, the catchiness is a bit more warranted here, and it creates a very yeah, like when you just want to feel happiness and that's all, then yeah, this is definitely the song for you, especially if you like catchy tunes. I wonder if I can whistle it. No, no. Yeah, I can only whistle. I've been whistling recently. Been able to do it after years. Yeah, I can only do certain things. Anyway, we're on to the last song. So yeah, let's get on to it. And we have yet another Eurovision star. Well, I hope she's a star. Also coming from Panic Records. They must have like connections to Eurovision. It's a bit like Cat Music because if you remember, Cat Music has that yodeling track from 2017 in Romania or Moldova. No, I think it is Romania because Moldova was the return of Sunstroke Project, who I do like a lot. The saxophone work is definitely the best ever in modern music. Anyway, so Demy once sang This Is Love in 2017, representing Greece, and that song I like. It kind of reminds me of, or gives me the vibe of the song When You're Up in the Sky in an Aeroplane. That's what I at least get in the bridge because this music gets all swirly and swifts about, and it gives you that feeling of rising up to the sky. Even then, the song is really atmospheric and deep, and the piano echoes, and yeah, Demi's long range notes are also rather nice too, not too high. It suits the rest of the power of that song. This song, so yeah, the vocal work isn't well, there's no need for those high long notes here. This is a bit more of a laid back jovial track, but is this the instrumental rather? It's very hard hitting. There's it's either like a type of violin or it could be an alternative type of wood instrument which acts as the main melody for the track. It helps start off the track and then it appears twice in the chorus because the chorus is made up of two parts. Because the other parts of the song, well, the chorus parts, I think it runs on an electric drum, or it could be a mixture of a lighter drum but a heavy cymbal sound because there's a constant kind of sound that happens throughout. It's quite a, a song that thuds a lot, but yeah, it's made up of two sections. So yeah, chorus once, then it gets to the instrumental with the alternative instrument and its melody. And then even the melody continues when Demi sings the chorus again. I think the song's called Ella, by the way. I think if you type it on YouTube with one or two L's, you might be able to get it that way. If any, but it's one of the it's right there as well. Yeah, there you go. It's all of the links are in the description anyway. But yeah, this is one of those songs which is exotic in a way where it really captures the feel of being not just in Greece, assuming she's in Greece at this point in the music video, but it it's just just like a very European song, and the melody with the alternative instrument, it makes this one stand out. It's just very interesting. The verses have all been mentioned about being quite mute. There's just some soft keyboard notes with her vocals being really quiet, and then she strengthens them a bit during the chorus. And it's just very interesting contrast. Even the verses are quite short as well, but I don't often listen to songs with short verses. Normally with a short verse it means less time to build up to the chorus, but not in this case. I think it just knows that we already established what the melody and the speed is going to be like. Let's make sure it gets back to that as soon as possible, once the verses are done. And it's nice to hear Demy with more silent vocals compared to what the volume of her vocals like during the Eurovision track, which was, oh yeah, God, that's quite a year difference, isn't it? At least with Eleanor, that was a year or two between that song and El Diablo, but yeah, quite a difference here regarding years. And that's all I can say. I think it's quite a short track as well. It only has a small intro followed by verse, chorus, verse, and then it goes back to chorus. I don't think it has a bridge, which is, totally fine. Not every song has a bridge. But still really good verse and chorus though. And it definitely stands out with the whole exotic nature of the whole song. I think that's all I have to say. I will say that I'm not as familiar. I think I found this one more recently, hence why I'm not as familiar as this one compared to the first 3 tracks, I would say. But still good though, and I still think it's fantastic. So and that's all of the European songs I recommend. I think if doing something similar to this topic, I might talk about the Eurovision songs I like, but unfortunately it's almost sectioned in years, because outside of a couple in the past, there's one song in 2002 I like. There's ABBA's Waterloo, which is great. Really like Buxvik's track, and I also like Katrina and the Waves. They're really good. But then aside for those one-offs in the past, there's whole years like 2016, 17, 19, and then 22. I remember liking a good majority of those years, and there are other songs which were fine all in between that, and so forth. I am one of the few people in the world who has listened to every Eurovision, assuming all the songs have been put on YouTube. What was I talking about? If you, in fact, I think if I mentioned the other songs from the other years, then maybe that could warrant a video where I talk about what I think the best in Eurovision is, from my perspective. And it's probably easy to say my opinion as well, despite what I can point out from these songs I listen to, especially the ones I like, where I can talk the best about. Because I think just to end this video, I think it just goes to show that the song doesn't have to have English lyrics to make it good. There's entire instrumentals, there's Despacito, there's a whole heap of there's even cool tracks which are only made up of deep vocals. There's this one track I've found called Light and Darkness by X-Ray Dog, and it's only made up of deep harmonies and it sounds cinematic. It's really good stuff. So yeah, just goes to show that yeah, just keep listening to new things, explore other countries, see what their music is like. Once again, YouTube's the best source, and going through channels like these, yeah, I think it'll pay off, and it'll give you, um, it just means that your vision won't just be the ones giving you music across the world. You can do that yourself. Just like I have here, and yeah, really interesting first video. If you want to do next, there's a collection of rock songs, modern tracks, and also songs in the last century, which I also think are super underrated and deserve more of the spotlight. And yeah, and also outside from perhaps a couple, I think all of them are in English as well. This is just a interesting start, to these series of videos. A series of videos which I don't think will be long. Sure, there will be more songs from Under the Radar, which I think will be worth sharing. I think there will always be that, but yeah, not gonna lie, I feel like I've been able to find more songs I like in the last couple of years compared to now. It's been a bit of a struggle to find new music for me recently. But even then, I can still talk about other songs I like, regardless how popular there are, and there are probably some that are still underrated, and still worth discussing, even if they do come from popular bands or are still popular on YouTube. Even songs on this list alone still has a million, but like I said, I don't know how much from the UK or US listen to this. But yeah, without further ado, I hope you've learned a lot from this video, and I hope you do like the following songs that I've recommended to you. I think, yeah, definitely you should be able to like at least one of these songs. Yeah, they're all just so fab. Yeah, I'll end the video right there. I'll see you next time. See ya.